I was having fun just playing dress up. Again, effortless, but kind of cool. Like I'm just in the hills of Scotland, being royalty.
I'm Nora, and this is also known as Nora Knits.
Hello there, I'm Nora, and you're watching, also known as Nora Knits. Thanks so much for coming to hang out with me today. I have a little bit of a different episode for you. If you can't tell already, we're in a little bit of a different location. I figured that the best place that we could film this style of video would be in my sort of closet getting ready area. I have been talking about wanting to create a how I style my knitwear type video on my channel for a long time now, and I'm really excited that I can finally bring it to you here today, and especially because we're doing it with a little bit of help from my friends at VIVAIA. I'll tell you a little bit more about that in just a second. But I figured that the best way to approach a video like this would be to pull a few of my favorite or most worn knitwear pieces and style them according to sort of a week in the life. I wanted to kind of just use that as my point of reference as I styled these 3 different pieces of knitwear through a 5-day week and all the different things that might come up during that week, and just have a little bit of fun with literally playing dress up in my wardrobe. So the 3 pieces of knitwear that I chose to style are, first of all, my Minto sweater by Magdalena Parker. That is my sort of mustard yellow colored cable knit sweater that I knit last year. I also have pulled my Lykke pullover by Sari Nordland, which is my cream, sort of white colored, lacier sweater that features these chevrons I did in more of an off-white boucle. And lastly, my Allgood dress, also by Magdalena Parker, which is a fingering weight maxi length dress that's sort of this boxy t-shirt style. And I wanted to sort of just play around with it and see how I can maybe style it for the cooler months, because I really actually have not worn it so much since I finished it in the summer. So those are the pieces of knitwear that I'm going to be styling. And now let me tell you a little bit about the pieces I'll be styling them with. This video is sponsored by VIVAIA, a company that focuses on combining technology, fashion, and sustainability in order to offer footwear that is not only unique and trendy, but also practical. When they reached out and offered to send me a few pairs of shoes, I was really excited to try their Terra Pro boots. I chose these water-repellent wool knee-high boots, first of all, because we as knitters know better than anyone how incredible the properties of wool can be. Living in New England, it can be easy to just toss fashion out when everything is so wet and rainy. I really put the water-repellent abilities to the test by frolicking through these puddles with Miss Osie, and I was genuinely shocked that my feet stayed not only dry, but also warm from toe to knee. I also really love that the upper part of these boots are super stretchy, which makes it easy for someone with bigger calves like myself to slide these on and wear them comfortably. One thing that I wanted to mention is that these boots have a toe box that is made out of a harder material than the rest of the boot, and I just found it took a few wears for my wide foot to actually break that in, but I have found that these boots are so functional, I did not even mind having to go through that break-in period, nor has it hindered me from wearing them day to day. Another pair of shoes that I have been loving are the Margot Mary Janes in this really fun bright red. I have been seeing Mary Jane style shoes all over the place, and I was so eager to get my hands on a pair. Something that I really love about this pair is just how adjustable they are. I also think that the square toe and pointed cutout make these shoes a little more chic and grown up, unlike the Mary Janes I wore as a kid. I also found that the combination of the upgraded insole and the arch support made these really comfortable to be in on my feet for long days, as I am when I'm doing bridal hair. Since they are so lightweight and flexible, I think they'd be great to just have in my purse to change into after a long day of wearing some less comfortable shoes, especially because they have this extra padding on the inside of the heel for that much more comfort. Now, these have to be my favorite of the three pairs, and I know that they're my boyfriend's favorite too. The Regina Pro boots are my new go-to work shoe. It's not uncommon for me to spend 10 hours or more on my feet for a work day, so I really need a shoe that will allow me to get around comfortably, but will also be fashionable. I found these to be the most comfortable of the three pairs I've tried. I like that they have this tab on the back so I can get them on quickly and easily when I'm running out of the house, usually late on my early work mornings. But I also love that the heel is just high enough to make me feel put together while being low enough that I genuinely feel like I could run a mile in these bad boys. Overall, I've found it to be just an absolute pleasure to work with VIVAIA and also to get the opportunity to wear these shoes, these boots. I can't wait to wear them for many more years to come. Honestly, they've already become such staples in my shoe rotation, and I've got a rotation. So I want to thank VIVAIA for sharing a discount code with us so that you guys can get in on all of this sustainable, fashionable, and comfortable footwear along with me. You can use code NORA12. That's Nora, Nora 12, so that you can get 12% off of your VIVAIA purchase. And I just can't wait to show you guys how I was able to style these boots and style my knitwear. And without further ado, let's dive on in. I wanted to share with you that there's going to be a common theme throughout these styles that I've chosen because it is sort of the one thing that I always try to incorporate in my outfits. And I've mentioned it before if you've seen my pattern roundups or even some of my other content. I'm sure that I've mentioned it before that I really do love the contrast of hard versus soft. And that could be a physical contrast or just more of the vibe of it all, the masculine versus the feminine and where that kind of clashes in the middle, or the edgier versus the sort of flouncier, frillier, those sorts of things. I really like to combine those elements. And to me, that's when I have the most balanced look and something that I feel the best in. Let's go ahead and start with Monday, which is, of course, when we're heading to work. Now, like I said, my workday and your workday might be a little bit different, but I wanted to take this approach of a little bit more of an office job. I could essentially wear any of these outfits to a normal day of my own work. So I was having fun just playing dress up, but I would totally wear this outfit to go maybe interview with a new salon or something like that. This is a little bit more of my just business, but casual, cool. So for this look, I decided to go with my Allgood dress and I wanted to style this almost more like a skirt. And so what I decided to do was pop on a white button up over top of it. And I like this white button up because it has a little bit more of a utilitarian style to it with the flap on the pockets. But then the sort of silkier material that it has keeps it more drapey and therefore a little bit more feminine. So already bringing in sort of those hard and soft elements. But also, I really like the idea of belting this to give back a little bit of waist definition, but then also kind of untuck the shirt a little bit so that it has more of that, I don't know, 90s sort of 80s look. I do really like that edge that more effortless look that it gives when the shirt's a little bit more untucked from the belt. So I have this belt that's a faux snake skin with the gold buckle. I really feel like at this point, this outfit just needed something that was going to harden it up, give it a little bit more of an edge. And that's why I decided to pair this one with my over the knee. They're a faux croc style boot. They're almost like a cowboy boot. And so I wore those underneath the whole thing. I really love to pair taller boots underneath longer dresses, skirts, pants. I really like the way that that looks where the boot disappears into whatever you're wearing on your bottom half. For something like this, I feel like you can't go wrong with just a pair of classic gold hoops. And then also, I tend to feel like if the hair is down with all of this sort of layering, it just looked a little bit busy. So for this one, I decided to pull my hair up into a French twist and just throw a clip in there for right now. But if I was doing this more for like an actual day, I'd probably style it without the claw clip and instead just do a proper French twist with like some hair out around my face to keep it soft. I'd also probably pop on maybe like a mauvey sort of nude lipstick with this one and just lean into kind of like the 90s vibes of it. But that's a way that I can style my Allgood dress in the cooler months while staying really functional and making this dress work for me in other seasons. So that is Monday. We are off to work. For Tuesday's outfit, I decided that we could head on out to grab some coffee. I do love to go out to a local coffee shop and grab a cup of coffee, bring my knitting, hang out, maybe get some emails done and things like that. So definitely these days are all about just cozy and comfy vibes, but I am not someone who could just walk out of the house in a pair of leggings and like call it a day. There needs to be an outfit still. So I decided to style my Minto sweater for this sort of like coffee shop look. I paired my Minto sweater, which is a very oversized sweater. This has heaps of positive ease, and that's kind of why I wear it so much. I love how big and cozy this one is. And I decided to keep going with that sort of oversized and baggy look by pairing this one with a wider leg pair of jeans. I like the ripped knee. It kind of gives it that edge. And then I just for Christmas actually got this pair of the little Ugg clogs. I call them my hooves, but these are just really soft and comfy. If I had a pair of hand knit socks, I would totally wear them with these, but for now I'll probably just wear just some regular socks. And yeah, throw on the wide leg jeans with the Uggs and my big Minto sweater, give that just a little bit of a French tuck so that I'm not totally drowning in it. And then for an actual coffee day out, I'd probably just throw on a puffer vest. I like to have my arms free if I'm going to be out and about. And then I always am gravitating towards my backpack purse, which almost always has my knitting in it, but I could also fit my iPad in it and all of that. And I'm just on the go, easy breezy. I really like this outfit for showing how I can style my more oversized knits in just like a big, comfy, cozy way without just like throwing on literally Uggs and a pair of leggings. I like that there was some styling that went into this one. I also feel like, again, with all of these layers, it can get a bit much with my hair being down. And so, again, if this was an actual day where I was styling this, I would probably slick my hair back and wear it in more of a tight bun, or at the very least, do more of like a proper messy bun, a low hanging one, just so that it's, again, effortless, but kind of cool. And very just out of my way. So fuss free styling. I really like this. So that is Tuesday. For Wednesday, I am thinking girls' night out. Now, typically for me, a girls' night out looks something like the local Italian restaurant and us all just going and getting some dinner, usually pizza for myself and maybe a glass of wine, but nothing too fancy. We're just kind of hanging out. However, anytime I'm going to hang out with like my girlfriends, I do prefer to pull out my more like fashion forward outfits because I know that they'll appreciate it. And so if there's ever a time to experiment with something that's a little bit more trendy and a little bit less like mainstream fashion, I will definitely take advantage of a girls' night out to do that. That's why I decided to bring my VIVAIA Mary Janes into this outfit because while my boyfriend might think, what the heck are those? I know that my girlfriends are like, yes, those are so cute. Those are so trendy. They get it. So for this outfit, I decided to pop on my Lykke pullover by Sari Nordland. And obviously you can't go wrong with having just like a white or a cream sweater in your wardrobe. If you don't already have one that you've knit, I do highly recommend giving that a shot with just like a basic silhouette, something that you can grab and run out the door. Always, it goes with everything. So I do find myself getting a ton of wear out of my Lykke for that reason alone, but also because I like the shape of it. Now I decided to pair this over top of this mesh black bodysuit that I had. I really do wish that this came up a little bit higher in the turtleneck, or that the Lykke wasn't as close to my neck so that you could see more of the mesh bodysuit sort of popping out on the top as well as on the cuffs. But I like the way that it adds a little bit more of a visual interest and just that extra bit of layering. I also feel like, to sort of roughen up the sweet vibes of my little Mary Janes and the Lykke pullover, a pair of black ripped jeans are totally the way to go for this one. To just kind of even further push it, I like the idea of either pulling my hair into like a messy ponytail, or even more than that, what I would probably do is something more like a slicked back top knot or something. I just feel, again, like the sort of slicked back top knot would give this otherwise sweet outfit a little bit more of an edge. I also really like the idea of pairing this with something like a big statement earring, like my favorites, these sort of like star bedazzled brass earrings. And I think particularly if my hair was going to go all the way up, those would really look nice. Of course, I have to pair this look with a staple black leather jacket. I have this black leather jacket. I think it's the brand Elodie. But my favorite part about this one and why I chose it is because the hardware on it is all this like gunmetal color. So there's no obvious silver or no obvious gold that would clash with any of the other things that I'm pairing it with. Now, after looking at this one for a minute, I just felt like something was a little bit off, or maybe it wasn't giving enough of the like edge that I wanted it to. At which point I decided to pull out this little trick, which I have been doing for years. And then I think more recently, the sports bra hack sort of became popular, where you would literally wear a shirt with a sports bra on top of it so that you could then tuck your sweaters or sweatshirts up and under the sports bra. That is the most uncomfortable thing to me in the whole world, but this I have literally been doing since I was in high school, is just grabbing a belt and putting it on underneath your sweater and then tucking the sweater up into that. Now, this belt that I'm using actually is like a big elastic. It's like a seat belt. It came with a dress that I have, and I have been wearing it nonstop as this sort of just like under my sweaters tuck up thing. So I feel like that's a really cool tip if you've never tried this with your sweaters before. It's a great way to maybe make a full-length sweater look cropped if the outfit that you're pairing it with calls for a shorter sweater. It's a really fun way to get a different look out of the same old sweater. But I really thought that this was fun here because it exposed that mesh on like bare skin, which just gave it a little something sexy, a little girls' night out-ish. So yeah, I really like this one. And then of course, pairing it with just a crossbody bag. I love to be hands-free when I'm out. If I'm gonna wear a purse, it is one of these ones I'm showing you, because they all offer me the option to go hands-free. But this one in particular is great because it has the crossbody option. So I feel like that also kind of just cashes up this outfit a little bit. I don't know. I really like this one, especially with the Mary Janes. So that is Wednesday, our girls' night out. Now, for Thursday, I figured it's about time in the week we've got to run some errands. So that is why I decided to grab my VIVAIA Terra Pro boots. Those are the knee-high ones, and they're water repellent, which I literally wore this outfit to go run errands the other day. I really like the idea, like I said before, of kind of wearing these taller boots underneath longer items. I don't know why, for me, that just looks really classy. So I decided to pair these with another sort of straight cut pair of jeans, but these ones are more cropped and they don't have any holes in them, which again, I feel like just kind of adds a little bit more of like a classy element to this. but it's still jeans. It's still comfy. And then I pulled out that same silky utilitarian white button up from before. However, I paired it underneath the Minto sweater. And to do this, I did the same thing that I did for Girls' Night Out, where I grabbed that elasticated belt and just put it over top of the white button up and then folded the Minto sweater underneath. So again, perfect because my Minto is so oversized. It can be a little bit overbearing with outfits like this. So I like to sort of just tuck away and hide half of it. But then I felt like with this look, I didn't really have any other texture going on. You know, I had these knit boots that were sort of just disappearing into the very clean jeans. The jeans were very high-waisted, and if I tucked in the white button up and then just had the sweater, I just feel like there wasn't enough dimension to the look. So I really liked the idea of just tying off the bottom of this shirt for, again, just like a little bit more casual, a little bit more girly sort of vibe, which is nice because this is otherwise a very like neutral outfit. Also, to add a little bit more texture, a little bit more sparkle, I decided to go with this thicker, chunkier gold chain necklace that I actually paired over the collar of the button up to sort of act like almost like a tie. I was kind of leaning into the like more masculine vibes of this outfit. And honestly, this one is like my equestrian dreams. Just I've referenced before that I was watching The Crown. I feel like this is another one of those outfits where like I'm just in the hills of Scotland, being royalty. And what I really love most about this outfit is that I can literally do anything in it and I'm not worried about it. I genuinely wore this outfit to go frolic through puddles in Massachusetts. And for this one, I figure if I'm out and about running errands, I probably will have something small to knit on if I get stuck somewhere or wind up running into a coffee shop for fun. And so I have my cute little bucket bag that I thrifted not too long ago, but it's a J. Crew leather bucket bag, and I really like the oxblood color, and I like the way that it plays with the mustard of the Minto. So yeah, that's Thursday. That's running errands. And the last day in my 5-day week is Friday. And of course, it's date night. So I decided for date night, I was going to go back to my Lykke pullover. And I really love styling this one with my leather pants. There are these wide leg leather pants. I feel like these look so good with so many things, but they're particularly sort of classy and classic with my Lykke pullover. I did mention already that of the 3 pairs of shoes that VIVAIA sent me, the red-bottomed ones were my boyfriend's favorite, so naturally I would reach for those on date night. But also, our date night kind of looks a little bit different every time. We're usually maybe popping around to a few different places, out and about, so I like something that I can be comfortable in and walk around in. We're not usually going out to like a fancy restaurant, but we'll get, a nice dinner and then probably wind up walking around looking for an ice cream shop or something. So this outfit is absolutely perfect for that. And I just love the way that the black leather pants kind of disappear into the black top of the boot. But then when I'm walking away, you see that little pop of red. I love that. And I decided to pair this one with a daintier earring because I already had the sort of edge of the leather and the boot. So I felt like something more dainty on top worked out. I also feel like, to add a little bit more femininity, to kind of pull the hair away from the face and just keep things a little more like Gossip Girl on top. I really liked that idea. And then I've mentioned before, I really don't like being constricted by a coat. So I decided to pair this with my reliable cheetah print, sort of like teddy style coat. It's a super, super, super comfy material and it's like really stretchy. So I have no problem getting my sweaters into it. It's a little oversized and it keeps me really comfy, but I also just like the cheetah print. It's a classic. And that is my Friday date night look. So I hope that these different outfits gave you a little sense of inspiration or maybe just some little tips and tricks for what to look for when you're trying to style your knitwear. There's been this huge conversation lately in fashion in general, but especially in knitwear in the knitting world, where we've been talking about wearing your clothes versus styling your clothes. And I have always been someone who would style my clothes, even if it's a t-shirt and jeans. There's always a little bit of extra thought that goes into even the most effortless looking outfits. And I feel like if you have one takeaway from this video, maybe it would be the idea of finding those sort of keywords or those themes that you can look to when you're styling your own knitwear. Like I said, I really like the contradiction of the hard versus soft. If you're a Project Runway fan, you know Nina Garcia and I are one and the same on that. I just really like that combination. And so anytime I'm styling anything in my wardrobe, but especially with knitwear, I'm always thinking, okay, this is a knit piece. This usually already is the soft. So what kind of hard elements can I bring into this to make it more me, more cohesive, and a little bit more stylish and more than just throwing on a sweater with another pair of jeans? So that's why I wanted to bring you some practical outfits. If you guys liked this video and want to see other ways that I style my knitwear, some of the thoughts that I've had are styling the same sweater 5 different ways. So maybe taking just the Allgood dress, especially, I feel like is a trickier one, just because if you're going to put the time into knitting it, you're probably hoping that you get as much wear out of it as possible. So if you'd like to see a video on 5 different ways that I would style the same garment, then definitely let me know. I also have a couple of knitwear pieces that don't get as much wear. And so if you would like to see a video styling my sort of least worn knitwear and just again playing dress up to make it work for myself, but then also to share my findings with you, let me know what all you'd like to see with the styling content from me. And otherwise, I'm just so glad that you were here to check out this video. So definitely, if you like this style of content or just knitting content in general, I'd appreciate it if you would come hang out with me more often. I do post a podcast episode every Saturday morning at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you enjoyed this video, don't hesitate to give it a thumbs up. Certainly ring the bell so that you're notified when I post these sorts of things. And of course, make sure you're subscribed so that we can hang out together a little bit more frequently. One more time, I just want to say thank you to VIVAIA for sharing that code with you guys. That was NORA 12 so that you can get 12% off of these shoes. And just so you know, moving forward, I have really been blunt and honest and open on my channel about my sort of candor being something I really pride myself in, and a running theme on this channel that I will never hesitate to give you my honest opinion on something. And so when you see something like this video that is sponsored, I just want you to know that I will always share with you my full honest thoughts on the product, and I will only work with brands that allow me that autonomy, and this brand is no different. So all of my thoughts and opinions here are my own, and I genuinely believe them, and genuinely these shoes have become staples in my rotation. I have worn them more than most of my favorite shoes I have owned prior to that. So I just want to say that as one-time blanket statement as the channel is growing and we might be seeing some more of these opportunities. I want to make sure that you guys and I are on the same page. So that's my quick little spiel on that. I really want to say a big thank you to all of you who have been watching, who have been subscribed, who've been here since the beginning. It's because of you that we're able to continue to grow this channel and do it in a way that's exciting and fulfilling for both of us. I hope. So thank you to you guys who really are the ones that allow me to create partnerships like this one. And I just wanted to make sure that you know my stance on the topic moving forward. But really, it's you guys I'm grateful for showing up and being here and helping build this really fun community that I just want to be able to put as many resources into making it better, all to give back to you. So with that, big ol' thanks for watching. I will catch you on the next one. All right, you guys. Bye.